Hey, Right Riders, Keith Wheeler here, back with another video for you. Now, today's video is going to be a little different because normally I would have a script and everything else, and this is actually just going to be straight off my head, straight off the cuff, because it's actually in relation to a comment that I got on one of my videos. I'm not going to use the user's name because it's not really relevant to the story, and I'm not going to name the platform because that's irrelevant as well. The whole point of this video is so you know, regardless of how new you are at this, that you don't need to put up with this stuff, okay? And I'm going to explain. Let me just make it really clear. I'm not bashing any specific platform, okay? I think KDP, Lulu.com, Barnes & Noble, Ingram Spark, they're doing us a great service by allowing us to play in their playground, you know, to play in their sandbox, majority of the time for absolutely no money, okay? I know Ingram Spark charges a little bit, but regardless, they're letting us play on their platform. And for that, I'm absolutely grateful. But despite that, it doesn't mean that we should just roll over when things are not being done correctly. I understand things may not always be done the way you want, but there's a difference between being done the way you want and being done correctly. And that leads us to the topic at hand. Don't put up with this. The story is this person had published a book. They decided to make some changes. They published the changes, and then they wanted to order an author copy so they could see that the changes were done correctly and to make sure that the customer was getting what they wanted and what they deserved. First, let me just say that as a general rule of thumb, when you're making changes to your project, or even if it's your first launch, okay, you're before you even publish your book, there's something called a proof copy. Now, the proof copy is the version that is currently in basically test mode. It hasn't been published yet. If you order a proof copy, you should get the absolute newest version of the book that hasn't even been published yet. So that's a proof copy. That one on the cover is going to say, all the way around it is actually a big strip that says not for resale. That's what that's for. That's to make sure as an author, as a creator, that the content, when you receive it, is exactly what you want your customer to receive before you publish it. Understand, mistakes happen. So when you do publish a book and you order an author copy, you should get the newest version of that book. Now, what happened in this case was they ordered an author copy, and the copy that they got after 2 weeks or however long it took to get there was not the newest version. It was actually like 2 or 3 versions old. So they contacted them. They understand mistakes happen, and the support apologized, sent them a new version. They waited another 2 or 3 weeks. It was still not the newest version. It was newer, but not the newest. After like 3 or 4 times, they did end up getting the one that they were supposed to, the newest version out there. But the explanation they were given is that there was no guarantee that they were going to get the newest version. These platforms are called POD, which stands for print on demand, which means that unlike old school where you had to order 500 copies of your book and they sat in storage or they sat in your garage or your spare bedroom, you don't have to do that anymore, because print on demand means when they're demanded, when they're ordered, that's when they're printed. And because of that, the author copies are the same way. So that means that when you order your author copy, that should be when it's printed, and that's when you should get the absolute newest version that has been published. Now, I understand sometimes customers return books. Those books, as far as I know, should be destroyed. But regardless, you should not be sent a book that someone returned. You ordered the newest version, you ordered the author copy, that's what you should get. It's just misunderstanding by the representative, maybe the person that shipped it, I don't know. But what tends to happen, especially if you're new to this industry, is you think maybe you don't understand the way something's supposed to work, or you just trust that somebody is doing things the right way. Even somebody as big as, you know, these print on demand companies, people make mistakes. It's still, at the end of the day, it's human beings that were working there, and they can make mistakes. The important thing is that you need to know that there is a huge platform out there, that there's a huge community out there that is waiting and willing to help you, whether it's on this channel, on other channels, Facebook groups, whatever. There are people out there that have done this, have been doing this for years, and you know, they can help you and answer questions you may have. Don't think that there's a dumb question. The only dumb question is the one that you're too afraid to ask, and then you learn the hard way. I don't care if I've heard a question 10, 20 times. I'm still more than happy to answer it. Now, typically, if I get the question too many times, I'll usually just do a video on it, because that's a clue that there's other people out there that want to know that, and then I'll do a video about it. But regardless, I don't mind answering questions. And so it breaks my heart to know that someone has spent months working on something and being given misinformation, intentionally or unintentionally. And I just want to make sure that you know out there that there is a community out there of people who've been self-publishing, traditionally publishing, it doesn't matter, willing to help, willing to answer questions you have. So especially for those people who are new to this, don't put up with this. If you feel like you're getting taken advantage of, if you feel like someone's not understanding you, find somebody else who may. That's the big takeaway I want you to have from this is, like I said, I've got a couple Facebook groups out there. I know Dale R. Roberts has some Facebook groups, Rachel Harrison's son. I mean, there's plenty of people that are out there that have great community that are more than willing to help you, whether, again, it's on YouTube or on Facebook or LinkedIn or any other social media. I hope this helped you. I really wanted this to be a positive video and just let you know that you have way more control over your experiences and outcomes than you probably think you do. So take that and run with it. Know that if something doesn't sound right, it may not be. You may just be getting misinformation from somebody else who got misinformation. So again, feel free to reach out with any questions you have. Throw them down in the comments. And if you're new around here, I'd love it if you'd consider subscribing to the channel and smashing that bell icon so you get alerted each and every time I put out a new video, just like this one. And some of them are even more upbeat than this. So anyway, with that, I really, really hope you guys have a wonderful day. And while you're here, don't let the learning stop. Check out this video right here. It's one of the most recent ones that I did. Or if you really trust the YouTube algorithm, they said that this one right here has got your name written all over it. So see who knows you better, me or YouTube. Either way, check out one of those videos. I'll catch you on the inside. And remember to write right.